Last. Okay. All right, everybody, we're back on, but I'm just going to give it a second here to let people kind of pop back on.
Okay, let's hold on.
And hopefully it's going to look at.
We're back on?
Yeah, we're back on.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Can
Bye.
she see us?
Yeah, she said we're back on.
Did she see me and Jim are just in the picture right now? Jim, you and I are just pretty much hanging out in this picture.
All right, so now you can throw that up there.
We got to wait for Okay, so people are getting back on. We're going to give it a couple minutes here and just keep chatting.
Yeah.
And 20 we're at, so I know we had about 60, so we'll kind of wait till we get... Chloe's on, yay! Hi, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
You got to help me with my phone issues because we all need our kids to help us with our technology issues. Yes, Chloe, I'm going to be calling you after the show. All right, we're going to give it a few minutes, everybody. Sorry about that. If we cut out again, well, my heart will be broken, of course. I will be eating popcorn, however, so it's kind of good and not good. But
we're so sorry.
Yeah. All right. So Jim is on. Pastor Jim Schleif from St. John's United Church of Christ in Hartford and Slinger is waiting patiently. I don't know, Jim. Do you have a cup of tea on your end?
Or a beer.
I do not, but I'm realizing right about now what a good idea that would have been. And I was thinking, I hope Wendy at least has a cup of tea to kind of console her through the technical difficulties here.
Well, Jim, my Wednesday night shopping tour of the store, I always do a Wednesday night thing, and I give just a tour of the store and show everybody what we've got, kind of like what's new and our specials and our
Jeff Smith
product and stuff like that. Hi, Jeff. And I had a call. Well, the first one actually was my fault. I set the phone down and I hit finish on accident. Okay, so that was my fault. Then I spilled my wine, and then the phone, and then everything just went blank, just like it just did now. So I'm not really sure. I'm not giving up, though, Jim.
No, you're not. You're tenacious.
Exactly. I'm not going to give up. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. This is important to me, and I'm just not going to give up. All right, so we are, yeah.
She said it's hard to hear past her.
Okay, I'm going to try and turn you up. Give me 1 second, Jim. Yeah.
So in case we don't get too much further, just so I can share this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love your creativity. I love your innovation. I love that you're trying to do what you can to bolster and spur your business and in these crazy times. And you have such wonderful hearts, both of you. And you do so much for our community. And I'm just prayerful that those that know you and love you are coming out to share in these segments, and that it'll grow some excitement and some resiliency for your presence in the community, and that you will know how much you're loved and how much you're needed and how much you're desired to stay as a healthy business in the area. So I hope those all go well for you, and I hold you all in prayer, as well as all the businesses that are just struggling right now in these times. So,
well, I appreciate
job well done.
Thanks,
job
Jim.
Well done.
Thank you, Jim.
I appreciate that, and we joke about all sorts of stuff, and but I know I was on your Facebook page, St. John's United Church of Christ here in Hartford and Slinger, the Facebook page, and that post you just did on May 6th, just talking about your eighth pastoral message via Facebook, and just talking about, because I know, Jim, the last couple shows that we did, I don't know what to call them, podcasts, we've had mental health professionals on, because we like to joke, you know that, but we're also very concerned about people's mental health. This is such a taxing issue on people right now, and so many different levels, and that's one of the things you addressed in your message there on Facebook. And I have to believe that you are dealing with so many different things right now, people who are dealing with extra struggles right now on top of all of the normal struggles of their lives. What is that looking like for you?
Well, it's crazy times. When we, from a church perspective, going into the Safer at Home orders, which came upon us pretty quickly. One Sunday we were gathering for worship in Slinger and Hartford with less than 50, and we were still within the guidelines. By Tuesday that next week, we were under the current orders that we are now. So then there's no gathered worship. I've been trying to adapt our messaging and our communications and our connectivity, and the goal that we set out with both church councils, the church leadership in Slinger and Hartford, was to stay connected, with all our active membership on a weekly basis on one way, shape, or form or another. And in a church family that will involve all of the methods that are at my disposal, email, written letters, mailing, Facebook posts, website updates. And you just pray that in the stress and in the strain and the anxiety and the tension that people are going to be feeling, is that they will know that the church is there. And I have to at times sit back and think, am I doing a good enough job? Are we succeeding in that? Are we leaving anyone out? Is there anyone who's islanded? But, the mental health picture and the strain and the stress and the anxiety that it places on pretty much everyone, but especially those who find themselves most vulnerable, where they are out of work and they are waiting for possibly an unemployment paycheck or a family relief check, and those things haven't come and they aren't coming, and they're trying to figure out what they need to do, and all the phone circuits and the computer connections are overloaded, and every other phone call is from somebody that's trying to do a scam, or it's tough, it's challenging. And so, but what's ironic about it, timing wise, and what I've found in the messaging that I've tried to share, is that if you look at the followers of Christ in the Sundays or the Sabbath days, most they were Jewish by faith, so it'd be sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, but their Sabbath days following the resurrection events were fearful times for them as well. Jesus' appearance came behind locked doors because they were fearful, and life as they knew it was totally upended, and they were trying to make sense of how, following this one they thought they identified as the Messiah, who they thought would set things straight and be the Redeemer of Israel and the Savior of the people, died on a cross. None of it made any sense. And then the resurrection experiences made no sense either. So they've got the confusion and the anxiety and the loss and grief of the Good Friday events, and then just the complete perplexion of what was happening on that first day of the week, and then in fear for their safety and fear of what the future would look like. So, in these times of pandemic, I think it tests our faith as believers in God, and for those of us that find that relationship and connection through Jesus of Nazareth, it truly is a time where that faith is more important than ever. I think this Holy Week season, this Lenten season and Holy Week, and now these Sundays after Easter, maybe more closely in my mind resemble those first century followers that were navigating those first weeks and months, those first 50 days between Easter and the holiday festival of Pentecost, and how traumatic that time must have been for them as well. So it's certainly been a challenge, and yet, people have been resilient. I'm amazed. The people that I've spoken to through phone calls, I try to do several phone calls each week in addition to the weekly pastoral message that goes out in a variety of formats. And the people that I've connected with and that I've spoken with and the cards that I've received at church have been overwhelmingly positive in terms of how people are doing. So it is stressful and it is challenging. But
people are hanging in there.
Not to use a cliche, but people are hanging in there together and working their way through it. For those that suffer the loss of a loved one during these times, it's horrible, because not only depending upon their situation or their setting, and it's not just a death or a loss due to the COVID-19 illness, a loss of life. We had a member of one of our churches whose husband was in rehab at Cedar Community and had been there for a while, and she was unable to see him. And his health was declining, and she was trying to navigate those potential near end-of-life times, and all of that without the ability to be present. And that story is heartbreaking when you hear that. I think that's one of the hardest things for folks to deal with or to grapple with is here in the midst of loss and grief and these things that are transitioning in end-of-life situations, not to be able to be present.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be able to be present.
I can't even imagine that.
Right. So, we care for each other as best we can.
Yep.
And encourage people to pray continuously and to draw those parallels between the biblical stories from the ancient prophets through the psalmists and through the laments and through those early followers of Jesus who in large part were struggling. Were struggling because they were in this constant cyclical battle between life going well and life really, really going not well at all, and then how their faith, drawing on their faith, helped them pull through those times. So, prayerfully, I think all our church communities are doing the same thing in one way, shape, or form, depending upon what resources and what capabilities they've got.
Right. Jim, what?
I hate to interrupt.
Oh.
But I gotta get going.
Okay, Jim.
I apologize, Pastor, that I gotta get going, but I have a special. What's that? I have a guest who's gonna take my spot. I have a guest that's gonna take my spot here at the seat.
Stop it, Jim! You can't see what's going on. I'm so sorry. This is putting you in the blind spot here. But my other daughter from Madison just showed up. Did you bring wine?
I brought wine.
She's 21 now, so she can do that.
It's legal, I promise.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know she was coming. Yes,
Yes,
wonderful.
because I gotta go.
Gentle.
Okay, gentle.
Hang in there, Jim. Hold on. Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be about to really be a hot mess here, pretty quick.
This is great.
I'm going to pick up Pascal.
Right, quick.
Pastor, thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody out there on Facebook Live, love you guys, and we really appreciate the support. And I will talk to you soon.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you, Jason. It's great to hear your voice.
Good to see you.
God's blessings to you.
Okay, so Pastor, what I want to talk about is there's so much about you. The reason that I have all these pictures, and again, you're gonna watch this and you're gonna be like, why did Wendy do this to me? But I want people out there to know what a diverse individual you are. I met Pastor Jim here at one of our anti-trafficking meetings. It was the first one, Jim, right, that we hosted.
It was fairly early on.
Yeah, I think it was the first one, and you came and you showed up and you engaged, and I was like, and I was told about you by Buck Blodgett, I believe, and from there we just started chatting and have all of us have been friends and just similar hearts and missions. And anyways, but what I want people to know about you is just your diverseness. Like, you're such a down-home person and such a really smart person. And just, I'm going to start out, Jim. This is kind of funny, and then I am going to get serious. But here's just a couple things. So you understand that Jim is a likable guy. You know, here's some things from his Facebook page. Okay? We've got here, Jim, a picture from recently. I'm not sure if it's an old fashioned or what that particular beverage is. We've got Pastor Jim up in the tree stand. There's not one person watching this that cannot not love you for one of the. He's got 2 dogs, and one of them has, or do they both have Packer gear on? They both have Packer gear on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you were digging through the archives.
Well, you absolutely, because this is who you are. I'm not sure what the whole Reese's egg thing is all about, but you like chocolate, and I like people who like chocolate.
That was a toilet paper hunting excursion.
Oh, that's right.
And between 4 stores, I never found toilet paper, but in the very first store, I found those Reese's chocolate peanut butter eggs. So the more frustrated I got with not finding toilet paper, I just kept eating more chocolate peanut butter eggs.
That's good stuff. I love that. And then this is a picture from the Hartford Christmas parade in which you carried the Navy, the U.S. Navy flag.
Correct.
And I love that. And then this brings me, Jim, to Warrior's Journey Home. And I want people to understand that while Jim is just a man of many hats, and we don't have time to cover all of your hats, Jim, and I just admire you for that, but I want people to really know about this organization, this group that you are involved in. And I can notice that I don't have, just hang on, I got to switch my my visual here so people can actually see that they can read the writing, or read the words, so stand by. Okay, so people can actually see this. So it's Warrior's Journey Home. Now this is an old August, this is from August, so this is August, from the last August. But I want people to understand that this is your passion. I remember having this conversation with you, Jim, in which we talked about so many things that your heart is called to do, but that it, because of your service in the Navy and how your work with people who are struggling, and that's where your calling is to reach out to families and the veterans who are struggling and their families. And I just loved that this fall that you did these the witness tree events.
Right.
And that to me was so special. And you did have quite a crowd you had crowds at different ones of those, right?
Right.
And what can you tell us about that mission? Yep.
So, my journey to pastoral ministry is anything but typical or orthodox. And coming to ministry later in life, experiencing a sense of calling that I had to ignore for 8 years because I thought, how could I even put credibility in this? I had made such a mess out of my life in certain ways. But part of that experience in adult life was my service in the Navy. And I spent 8 years in the Navy. I was in the Navy nuclear power program. I spent 4 years on a fast attack nuclear powered sub. And during that time frame, there were some issues that arose that I had interfaced with one of the Navy-based chaplains, and I just had a tremendous amount of respect for the work that they do, because if there's anything that'll mess up family life, married life, or an individual's life, it's this constant cycle of deployment and separation and living under stress and strain when we like to lift up and recognize kind of the more glamorous part of military service, but in large part for those that are actively serving on duty, especially in a tactical situation, there's nothing glamorous about it. It's very, very tough work. And so as I came on this journey towards ministry, many years later, I was attuned to areas where this path might intersect with the ability to serve our veteran community. And I was too old at the point of my ordination to go back into the military as a chaplain. That was ruled out. But as a church pastor, I sought out ways that I could utilize the resources and the experience and the gifts that I might bring to bear to help those who were currently struggling with maybe the aftermath or the experiences that they had while they were in uniform service. So I intersected with Warriors Journey Home, which is a organization that was started out of the Cuyahoga Falls area of Ohio. A United Church of Christ pastor who was an Army veteran had started this work. And it was basically the work of just accompanying those, journeying with those who were on the road to healing and healing from moral injury. And moral injury being a somewhat unique aspect of, I've seen some organizations that characterize it as a specific aspect of post-traumatic stress, and yet I've seen it more clinically described as not post-traumatic stress, but a different stress disorder. But it's the struggle that we have in our humanity, reconciling the experiences that we've had in life, and oftentimes experiences that have come during military service. And the same thing may happen, for law enforcement and first responders, that type of thing as well, where what they see, what they witness, what they experience, what they participate in, leaves emotional scars. They witness and see things that their entire life and code of moral conduct has said people shouldn't treat other people like this.
Yeah.
Or I should not be treating other people like this. Or I could have done something and I didn't. Or I did something and I wish I wouldn't have. Or our entire mission, in my experience in deployment, was flawed and compromised, and that's not what I joined the service for. So when our uniformed veterans of uniformed service, whatever that might be, come home, even if they're physically intact, even if they their physical injuries or wounds, if they received, those have healed, the invisible wounds of moral injury or soul wounds, the wounds to our souls, need work to heal and need work to repair. And yet, for those who are experiencing those wounds, they're some of the hardest to address, because the pastor may be the last person that they want to talk to, because what they experienced or witnessed either put them in a position where they feel that a church person or a religious person or a clergy person may be the last person they want to talk to. Or maybe they're having a difficulty reconciling their belief and their trust in God. How could a God allow the things that I've seen happen? And how could people suffer in the manner in which I've witnessed? And so that's tough work.
Yeah.
It leads to a high rate of veteran suicide.
Yeah.
And so the events that we've had the last 3 years for the witness tree, the first 11 days in November, we'll gather, and we've done witness trees in West Bend, right outside the Washington County Courthouse, in Slinger. This last year we were at Veterans Park by the memorial in downtown Slinger. And in Hartford, the first year we did it at the church, 228 West State Street, the church I serve in Hartford. This year we did it at Burn Park. We tried to be a little more public with our location. And for 11 days we gathered at a specific time. We shared in a brief reflection. We shared in a prayer, and then we hung 22 dog tags, blank dog tags, on our witness tree to symbolize the on average 22 veterans, including National Guard and Reservist personnel, who had lost their life to suicide in the last 24 hours. So when you do that 11 days in a row, by the time we hit Veterans Day, there's a pretty stark symbolism hanging on that tree. And so it's mainly an opportunity to raise awareness, to share a message, to bring attention to the fact that when our veterans come home, patting them on the back and saying thanks for your service and waving our flag or holding a sign isn't going to heal the injuries that they may bring back.
Right.
And so the work that Warriors Journey Home does, the real work involved is offering a group setting where veterans of all ages or experiences, whether they would be Vietnam era veterans or whether they would be Desert Storm or whether they would be Iraqi freedom or enduring freedom, wherever their level of experience was. The diversity in that group often adds to the strength, but including loved ones, people of strong heart, maybe those who waited for their loved one to return, to provide an opportunity where folks can gather in a safe setting, free of judgment, free of unwanted advice or easy fixes, and just work through the sharing of their stories and their struggles, opens doorways to healing.
So it's for
And so the challenge, though, is that's hard work, and it's hard to get people. It's hard to get veterans who need that work the most sometimes to be willing to engage and get started in that work. So, right now monthly, I've had to cancel the last two because of our safer at home. But I offer a Circle of Trust, I call it, on the third Thursday of every month at the church in Hartford, and just provide an opportunity for veterans or loved ones who would like to share in conversation time together, the opportunity to do that.
How can they get go ahead, Jim. Go.
The thing that I offer that maybe the VA or the vet centers or the formal counseling branches, the thing that I don't offer, I should say, is the contrast in the work that I try to engage in versus formal counseling or veterans work, and that's I don't have any paperwork. I don't do any diagnosis. I don't write any prescriptions. I don't try to provide helpful advice. It's a compassionate, understanding, and a supportive ear and companion to share that journey of healing. And I'm not discrediting anything that the vet centers or the VA or that formal counseling does. There's certainly a place and there's certainly a need for those disciplines and those professions. But in the trying to fill the gaps that may provide pathways that allow the road to healing or a journey to healing that might not otherwise be available or might be intimidating or might not have worked in the past.
Sure.
That's the goal. So that's what it's about.
Yep.
And that was a long
Well,
answer to your question.
That's what we do. We talk. We just keep talking, right? That's why we get along. Jim, how can people who want to find out more about, number one, worship options with your church, St. John's United Church of Christ, or Warriors Journey Home, how what can they do if they're curious about that?
Well, so probably the best thing I'd offer at this point, big picture, I do serve two churches that by coincidence, they both have the same name, St. John's United Church of Christ. There's a lot of churches with the name St. John's, but the Slinger Church is located at 520 West Washington Street. That's on the east side of Highway 175 between Slinger and St. Lawrence. In normal times, we worship there at 9 o'clock on Sunday mornings. The St. John's United Church of Christ in Hartford is located at 228 West State Street. So we're the small church just east of, 2 doors east of St. Killian's. And in normal times, we would worship there at 10:30 in the morning on Sundays. I have been doing a Facebook live stream from the Hartford Church. We did a renovation of the Hartford Church, so our sound system and our internet capability in the sanctuary supports doing the live stream. So at 10:30 each Sunday morning, we've been doing a live stream worship. Beverly comes along, and Beverly and the two
And the dogs.
puppies are my technical support.
I've heard them in the background, the little collars jingling.
I've caught wind of that, and thankfully, the circles that we run in actually find that a compassionate addition to the worship service. So,
Absolutely.
so that's one way to tune in, and that Facebook page is at St. John's United Church of Christ Hartford /Slinger /WI. So you'll find us on Facebook. And I've been trying to post regularly. I've been posting the weekly pastoral messages, as you referred to earlier in the program,
Yep.
as well as the live stream. And if there's anything else I come across during the week, I'm trying to maintain a meaningful presence there as well. We do have websites. Our websites, I'll just say, are somewhat rudimentary. But the Hartford website is uccchurch-hartford.org. uccchurch-hartford.org. And if you go to that, put in that URL and go to that website, you'll see a picture of both our Summer Church and the Hartford Church. And whichever picture you click on, you'll get that website, and then all the drop-down menus will be specific to that church, Slinger or Hartford. So in the what's going on under upcoming events, I update that every week with a abbreviated version of my pastoral message and any scheduled upcoming events and that type of thing. So
Okay.
Facebook page and the websites
Sure.
will be great ways to keep in touch. And anyone that knows you personally, Wendy,
Yeah.
that after this broadcast airs, if you have anyone that says, hey, who was that guy, I can get beyond the haircut and dog clipper do, and all these other pictures that you
Well, Jim,
and
I'm
I'd like to connect with them. You have my permission to pass along my personal contact information
Okay.
to anyone
All right.
who is a trusted contact of yours. I trust you unequivocally.
Perfect.
And would welcome their contact.
Okay. So if you didn't follow any of the many options, or you can't track Jim down, which you will, yeah, you can ask us here. We'll get you to him. And Jim, I'm holding up a picture of you and Beverly. Tell her Happy Mother's Day. And I will tell you, I'm wearing my dog mom shirt for a reason. I don't know if you saw it when you first tuned in, but I don't know if most people even know that I have real kids. But I do. Like human children, but I see my dog
Real
children.
big one.
I see my dog ones more often, but I wish I could see the real ones, the human ones. But I'm holding up a picture of you and Beverly camping, where you look like pretty much more your normal self. This is what Jim really looks like. But on Sundays, I will tell you, he gets biffed up. So watch the Facebook Lives, I post those, Jim. I don't know if you've noticed, but I share those onto the Downtown Hartford, Wisconsin Facebook page. And I try to share other churches and other worship options as well. But I'm fond of your service, and I just appreciate everything you've done. Not only everything you're doing now, but all of your service in the past for our country, and this Warrior's Journey Home. Your particular calling to those who have endured a type of trauma that a lot of us don't know anything about. I appreciate and am grateful for people like you who are here for those people. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome, Wendy. And I've been blessed with the opportunity. As I left my former vocation, my goal was to spend a part of my working career doing something that I thought was meaningful, doing something that I thought would be helpful to others, and doing something that I truly felt passionate about and that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And that would marry my heart with the work that I'm doing. And at the time I left that industry, I had no idea that it would lead to a pastoral vocation. And yet after being in a position where I could decompress for a period of time and get involved in some things that I found truly rewarding, here this sense of calling experience that I had ignored for 8 years started to make a lot more sense. And so I just truly feel blessed right now to be able to do what God has afforded me the opportunity to do. Based on the path and the journey that I've walked in life, I try to always do that humbly and respectfully of the differences that we share with others and that the needs that are in all of us. And there's very few elements of our faith that I'd stand on the mountaintop and say that are unequivocally true, but the one that I would say is true is that we are all wired to be in relationship with what's our ultimate reality, the divine presence, the divine being, our creator, our God, whoever we may identify in that mode, and whatever I can do to humbly help folks on the path that strengthens that journey, strengthens that relationship for us that believe in Jesus the Christ. We find that relationship through following the footsteps of Jesus.
Yep.
As the message this week will say, if you see me and you see what I've been doing, you've seen God. If you know me, you know the one who sent me. And if I can in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through healing the moral injury of our veterans, whether it's through helping people walk through their faith journey on life, or helping them navigate the difficult, challenging times of life, then I'm humbled and I'm honored to be able to assist. So thank you for this opportunity. Wendy.
Yeah, thank you. There's something to be said about finding your purpose in life, isn't there?
Yeah, it's not that everything's perfect. You would tell me.
No.
I see plenty of frustration.
But you've connected with it, so that's all that matters.
I also think that hair got that one.
Jim, you can't see what I'm holding up, but you and I, when this whole COVID-19 is kind of tapering down, we're going to do a cheers to this little picture here that I've got holding up from your face.
Very good. Well, when the safer at home is lifted, I think I'll join Beverly and I'll join you in person.
We would love that. Thank you.
We'll call it our own Main Street or downtown tea party.
Absolutely. Yes, the tea party. You got that right. All right, Jim. Thank you again so much. Have a great weekend. Say hi to Beverly.
God bless you, Wendy, and greetings and best wishes to everyone who's joined in on your circles this evening.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Jim. Bye-bye. All right, let's see if I can, is it hung up? Let's see. Yep, I think we're good. Okay. That was fabulous. Jim is just, you can't believe all of the, if you could see, I just threw it over there. I always meant to post a picture of what the floor looks like at the end of my
I did not
podcast.
expect this.
They can see this, but you can't. There's papers all over the place. But one of the things, Pastor Jim's background, he's got pages and pages of his nuclear physicist things and things of that nature. He's a really smart, intelligent, and full of all different things that he has been involved in his life before he's come to this vocation. So anyways, okay. Thank you, Jim. Now, I got to regroup here. First of all, hello, honey.
Hi.
I'm so excited that you're here. I'm going to move a couple things here. Oops, look at what
I
I
started
have.
drinking this. I don't know if I was supposed to.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
sorry.
You can drink whatever.
I'm with Dobby.
Yeah, I got Dobby up here, and I didn't even know you were going to be here.
I know.
I still never talked about what to do if you want to order things. We don't really. Okay, look at Grandpa. He says popcorn and.
You know it. That's funny.
Let's get situated here.
This is so good.
I know it's from the movie theater.
It's so good.
It's from the movie theater. Okay, where do we go from here? I don't think. Okay, I got to get back on track, everybody. Who's with me? Can we have a cheers? We have.
Take a sip.
You want a sip?
Take a sip.
Yep. Take a sip.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, we're good. Here's what I'm going to do for all of you. So you've heard me refer to the tea. Now, I don't know if anybody here with us right now has joined us during our Wednesday night shopping tour. Did you see my Wednesday night shopping tour, the one with the teacup? Have you seen this one yet?
Maybe not that one.
Okay. Actually, I think it was last Saturday. So who out there has seen? Oh, Sandy says I should introduce my girls. I just assume everybody knows. So, Chloe used to work here, so she was on the staff. Lucy as well, she's someplace. But here's my daughter, Chloe. She's a junior at in Madison, UW-Madison. And how's it going?
me.
How's it going there?
That's good.
Tell us you know what? Yes.
Oh.
Yes, here you are.
Oh boy.
Here you are.
Oh.
Tell us the experience of the college student in Madison during COVID-19.
During COVID-19.
Let's hear it.
Well,
Let's hear it, Chloe.
it's very it varies a lot because it completely depends on whether or not your roommates are Wisconsin residents, because
Oh.
if they are, then
Yeah.
you probably have friends at home. If they're not, then you're probably by yourself.
Oh, so you're
it
saying
totally is different per
Oh.
person, and also whether or not you have a job that you can still work.
okay. So you're saying that if you're in so Chloe's a junior, so she's not in the dorms anymore. So Bev says, what time Wednesday nights? Bev, 6:30 p.m. Wednesday nights. I do my in-store shopping tours.
Every Wednesday?
Live tours, yes.
Every Wednesday?
Yes, every Wednesday.
Alright.
At 6:30, I do the live shopping tours. So my good friend Debbie is on there. Hi, she says hi, Chloe and Lucy.
Hi, Debbie.
So so you're saying that if you're in an apartment and your roomies, your homies, are from, let's say
Minnesota,
New
New
Jersey,
Jersey.
they're home.
Uh-huh.
They left.
Yeah. There's
They're-
nothing keeping
because
them.
they're homeschooling.
There's nothing keeping them.
There's nothing keeping
Yeah,
them.
and now we're done. So,
Okay.
we're school.
So
So either you have, like, people at home or you're kind of by yourself.
So is it like what's the? You can't go out. You can't do anything. Kind of.
Well,
Oh,
today was commencement graduation.
it was.
Virtual commencement, but
Oh, really?
all of the seniors were like out and about, like just there was a lot of people out today.
Oh, there was. But are the bars open?
No. Nothing's open, but people are just out.
Out. Okay, and it was a decent day.
Weather's so nice lately, and
Yeah.
we're done with school now. We just finished yesterday.
I didn't even know that. I'm
Or
sorry.
2 days. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's kind of anticlimactic because it's all online. But yeah, so people have been out more than usual, but it's slowly getting a little more lively.
So do you feel like you're getting your money's worth? Is what the question is.
Not really.
Because you're
There's a
doing school a little different.
yeah.
Not the same.
No, I mean it has been nice. I spend a lot less money right now than I normally would, so like that's kind of nice. But I also am not getting the full advantage of the Madison education, which is
So what have you
What
done?
it is.
Like, what's your adjustment been personally?
my adjustment has been to
Your
start
job.
working at Dunkin' Donuts
Yes.
and get people their morning caffeine fix.
Yes. Oh, that's fabulous.
Keep some income and spend a lot of time with my boyfriend.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how you cope.
Yeah. So you just do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You regroup. Okay. So that's good. You're resilient. Yeah, that's good. All right. So what is Jason saying? You're done. Come home. Work. Wait, come work at Faith. Oh, Jason's saying.
Oh, I'm
you
done.
come
I'm done.
and Lucy come home and work at Faith and
I
Giggles.
don't know. Dunkin' Donuts really likes me. I don't know.
Jason, we gotta talk about that. So, okay, so, I was talking about, I don't know if anybody cares to know this, but, and I'm kind of diverting, but, so Chloe, did you know about this tea thing? Do you know?
I'm not sure what you're
Oh,
talking
this
about
is
right
great then.
now. I
Perfect.
don't know what you're saying right now.
Okay, you don't know what, so Chloe is probably like a lot of you out there. What is she talking about? She keeps talking about tea. She keeps talking, she laughs silly like, we're laughing with her. We don't really know why. But so, Tina Savage, if you're still on there from the Cobblestone Hotel and Suites in the Wissota Chop House, so she posted something on my Facebook page about, people who are doing those Zoom meetings or business meetings during the day.
Yes.
Right, and
I've been
their
on a
business
few.
attire. Okay, so your business here, and you're like sweats down there. Your hair is okay, but your feet aren't.
Yeah,
all
like
of
a
that.
white wall behind you, but you're really just
Okay.
covered on a futon.
Exactly, right? And then you've got your tea, right? So here's what the thing is, and it happens to be that I brought some samples so that we could actually show how you do this, how you create. I guess let's
What
call
did you
it
just pour
let's
in
call
that?
it Wendy's teacup. Wendy's teacup. Okay, so it looks like I'm drinking tea, and let's just say I'm on a professional Zoom meeting, and I'm not, but let's say I am. Okay.
Oh no. I know. Lucy knows what this
Okay.
is. I don't. I know what you're talking about.
So you take your typical tea bag, okay? And you know what?
It's so hard.
What's really, who cares about
got
this
the
part?
scissors now.
Who cares about that part, okay? That's silly.
Oh. Silly.
That's silly, okay? And then you,
The back part is gone.
that's
Now
gone.
I'm real confused.
okay? And then here we go. Everybody's got tape in the house, all right? Everybody's got
It's like a whole arts and crafts.
Yes. All right? Everybody's got a little tape,
Oh my god.
and you tape it right here to the inside of the cup, okay? You tape it right in there, all right? So you've got your tea. So guess what happens next? Can you guess?
Liquor?
Here's what
Liquor!
Here's what happens next.
Yeah.
Okay? If I had this open, I would show it, but you understand.
Liquor
Okay,
is what happens.
and then-
Oh yes.
Tea
Tea.
is served.
Jason was drinking real tea.
He was drinking real tea. That's my tea. So that's now you know what happens
I like that
when
a
I
lot.
drink
I
my
like
tea.
that one a lot.
Okay, what are we gonna? Who's here with us? And 2 o'clock in the morning with Gertie. Oh, hi, Gertie. Oh, Jason, pour Chloe some tea. Yeah, we should. Where's the opener? It's upstairs. I can grab it.
Yes.
It's up there somewhere. Okay, so the one thing we never talked about, Sue. We haven't done thank yous. We haven't done status update. We haven't talked about moms. We haven't talked about any of the things that I really focused on talking about because I didn't know Chloe was going, but that's okay. That's how we roll. We like that. We love Amber. You're gonna steal that idea. Hey, I stole it. I totally stole. I did not make that idea up. Hi, Mary Lou. Yes, tea for 2. Okay, so now we all know. And hi, Cindy. You're still here. Very good. Come on back, everybody. I want to thank a few people. I want to say a couple things as before we go any further. I want to thank our friends over at WTKM FM 104.9. And I want to thank them not just because we advertise there and all that. By the way, we advertise there and all that. But I want to thank them because, along with so many other people, they are doing these things above and beyond. We're saying hi. I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing
No, I heard
voices.
something too.
Did
I
you
don't
hear
know
it
what
too?
was.
Okay. They're going above and beyond to support businesses, encouraging gift card purchases for your local businesses, all of those things. I mean, this is stuff we all are hearing on the news and you see the posts, but it's for people like us, it's real. It's real life. You know what I mean? Like the businesses downtown here, this is our real life. Everybody's got a different perspective. Everybody's in different shoes. We got people on the front line. We've got people like Pastor Jim in the faith-based community. We've got people in social services. We've got students like Chloe talking about. Everybody's got different perspectives. But when you see that about those gift cards, it took a long time for us to build a community of businesses here we're so proud of having, and people really look forward to coming to downtown Hartford. They can eat, they can drink, they can spa, they can shop, they can do all sorts of things, and it's important that we keep that strong. Hartford strong, hashtag Hartford strong. So to do that, we got to keep supporting. So WTKM has been promoting doing exactly that, and they're doing that on their own dime. I mean, really, that's not something anybody's paying for. I am not paying for them to promote businesses or our community to purchase gift cards and support our businesses. So we love how people are doing their thing. As they say, it takes a village to help support. Our personal experience has been unbelievable. People are sending messages, dropping off beef jerky, which I don't eat, but Jason loves. Last week I had a bottle of wine from our friends at Salon East. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm joking about that, but the messages, the cards, we've gotten personal messages. We've gotten just so much kindness and support from people. We've been so busy. We've been running around like crazy. How do we ever thank people for that, keeping us afloat? So I want to make sure that people understand how grateful we are to our community. And we want to encourage people to remember their favorite businesses in town. I know that this actual thing might be over the order of staying closed, but that isn't going to solve everything. We all know that. It's not going to go back to normal. So we all just need to be, and there's so many different opinions and perspectives, and we just want to make sure that everybody knows what our status is, and our status is.
Would you like some?
Chloe's getting some tea. I already have my tea, honey.
Oh, okay.
Cheers. Anyways, and so we want everybody to know that we are going to continue keeping our doors locked until we have to. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Gary. Until the governor opens the orders or gives the orders that we can open, and that is purely a liability situation. So that if we open before the governor says, technically we could be liable. And oh yes, Vicki needs a $50 gift card. You got it, and they're 10% off, Vicki. So your $50 gift card is only going to cost you $45 if I'm doing my math right. So anyways, thank you everybody for all your support. I want to make sure to tell that. And I want to say stay strong to all my business homies out there who are struggling as well. And we just want to let them all know that when we can all start getting back into interacting with each other, we're all going to still be there for each other and supporting each other. Okay, another page that I'm throwing to the ground. Well, Jason didn't talk about is t-shirts. I've teased you guys all. Oh, Vicki, $100. Oh, okay, Vicki. I'm going to be looking through all my comments tonight, and then I'm going to write that down because I probably will forget otherwise. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I'm so sorry about your dog, and I shouldn't say that on this live feed, but I'm going to say it anyways. Big hugs to you, Vicki. So, okay, I'm gonna grab something here. Should we be closing soon? Jason's probably like, yeah, you should be wrapping it up, Wendy. I have a couple.
Say what you need to say.
Okay, thank you, Chloe.
Say what you need to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jason.
I wanted to do this thing where I was picking on Jason, but I wanted to do it while he was here.
Aw, it's not present.
I wanted to do
You can pick on me if it makes
No, it's not the same because I wanted to do a review, like you know how you do it with employees. I wanted to do an official Jason review. It's not going to be nearly as funny without Jason here.
Oh, that's funny.
But we've been kind of going a little crazy. It's been a little different way of doing business.
What else can you do?
What else can you do? And I've already talked about Jason trying to get rid of all of those super green seed pops. Like he thinks I don't know what's going on. I know he's doing that on purpose. He's throwing extra ones.
These things?
Yeah, like you're growing.
What is this?
Spinach. You grow spinach and all sorts of healthy things. And Jason's like, get these out of the store real quick. Just throwing them in bags. I think he sent something to the wrong address. I think he overcharged somebody once who she called and she was super nice and we love that. What does Jason say? I will be on next Saturday. Okay. Jason, I'm picking on you right now, but I meant to do this while you were here so you could defend yourself. I'm sorry. But I sent your reports to HR. They're reviewing everything.
Ooh, that
so
doesn't sound good.
Well, we'll talk about that another day.
That doesn't sound promising.
No, but in reality, in reality, Jason and I are grateful that we're like the yin to each other's yang. As you guys know, we have like totally different strengths and weaknesses. So, I'm not exempt from having some of those kind of mistakes. Mine are just different than Jason's. So we've been having a lot of fun. Jason says he is HR. Well, it depends on what day that is, right? Okay. Jason's been doing deliveries. We've had help from my dad. Jason's mom was in today helping with writing thank you cards and doing all sorts of stuff. And Deacon Steve, did you take a delivery? I don't even remember if he actually got one out. He's been offering to do free deliveries to West Bend. So if you're a West Bend viewer, we have free deliveries to you, $35 minimum purchase. And who else has a deacon on their delivery staff?
That's a pretty great deal if I
What?
do say so myself.
That's huge.
I mean, that's like 20 miles that you're getting for free.
For free.
You know what I mean?
And with a deacon, a man of the cloth.
Personal, yes.
He's like God is way up there, but deacon is
The light shining through your doorway. I mean,
exactly.
how much better can you get?
The light shining through your doorway.
The light of God shining through your very doorstep.
He's pretty important. He's an
Yes.
important person.
Yes.
And all of you watching right now, so I joke, however, hi Tammy, nice to see you virtually. Vicky says, wine here if you deliver. Chloe only delivers
take
here.
it
I'm going to be posting Deacon Steve. They videotape. There was a message by Deacon Steve at a mass that he spoke at. I think during the week it was videotaped earlier this week. But I will be posting that on Faith and Giggles and my personal page and all of that. And you will see. It's only a 12-minute message. I mean, it's the whole mass, but it's only a 12-minute message, which I think is really hysterical that he could be that powerful in 12 minutes because he's like me. He talks a lot. But it was extremely powerful. I had goosebumps and just talking about loving people, how loving people can make them whole again, so to speak, as God does. And it's a message that I'm gonna just hack if I try to.
You have the sentiment.
I'm trying to do my best. He does it much better. So I'll be posting that tomorrow morning. What does my dad say? Let me know, Wendy. I'll deliver again if you need me. Okay, Dad. Thank you. That was awesome. So, okay. One of the things I know for sure is that not everybody is done shopping for Mother's Day. So make sure you tune in. If you're not celebrating Mother's Day until later, once you can get back to see your mom, make sure to tune in on Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. here because we're going to be doing another live tour of Faith and Giggles gift shop. It's kind of all sorts of things happening during those live tours if you've watched them before. The last one I spilled wine on the floor. I don't know. I had some technical difficulties. But I know we've got graduations that are coming up, even though it's not your typical graduations. But we have gifts for that. So I'm going to start posting those things. First communions and confirmations. I'm not sure what's happening with all of that, but we'll be posting some of those things too. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, Kenny. And we'll keep you up to date when we can open our doors again. We can't wait to have everybody come in so we can see people face to face. So time being, if you need to order something, how do you order cool stuff from Faith and Giggles? Usually I start the show on this. Thank you, Carol. Happy Mother's Day to you too. I usually start with that, but we kind of got sidetracked as we always do. Please call us at 262-397-8689.
Oh,
Daddy. And or send us a private message. And we'll take care of everything for you. We're your personal shoppers until this whole thing is over. We're happy to do that. Hi, Mary. Also, Mary Lou. Yes. Oh, good. You saw stuff. I'm going to be posting probably tomorrow. And if I don't post it tomorrow, I'm sorry. But I'm going to kind of update on, we're almost out of a lot of the garden stakes and those cool hydroponic mason jar growing kits. But we're ordering all of that stuff back in. So I'm going to post a little bit of an update on that. We have lots of ginger snaps stuff. And, like I said, Wednesday is the day for the tour, but just keep posted on our Facebook page for all of the updated stuff.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
I don't have it, I promise.
I don't know how we're going to reopen because it if you guys could have been in here these last couple weeks, if Carrie and Zoe
it
are
looks really
out there,
nice right now.
it looks nice in here, but it's not that. It's the verbal. It's the inappropriate verbal outbursts. You know, there's nobody in the store. The doors are locked,
Right.
and we just talk like whatever's in here comes out. And it's sometimes
Well, there's no one to filter for.
there's no filter. There's humming. There's singing. There's loud.
Oh, not humming.
There's stuff that shouldn't, you know. So if you walk into our store once we can open our doors again, and somebody's like, "Hey, who is here?" You know, and there's no professionalism for a few weeks. Please forgive us. I think it's gonna take us a
Slowly
while.
trickle.
Yeah, we got to get back into the groove of professionalism. We've been kind of dressed like this, and we're just talking off the cuff. And
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
no, there's not. But we gotta bring it back a little bit. Bring back the professionalism when we open up again. So. Oh, Becky, your mom loved that stuff. Good. The jars. Yes, I'm going to enjoy being home, Kim, tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Anybody else here in-house have anything they want to add to our evening?
No, I don't think so.
Of course, I have a poem to read.
Oh, good. I was genuine. I genuinely mean that.
I do have a poem
You
to read.
picked the best stuff.
Mhm.
What is it?
All right.
Is
So,
it Marianne Williamson?
first of all, I'm going to start with it. No, it's not
Oh,
Marianne
okay.
Williamson. I'm going to start with this. Lucy printed this for me. So if you've been with me from our beginning shows, you know what this means. Does anybody guess? Oh, Dad, the shirts. That's right. I never finished about the shirts. Oh my gosh, my brain. I'm so sorry.
Nice job, Grandpa.
The t-shirts, we are going to get them. What happened is, the guy who's down the block here, Wisconsin wear, he's like, yeah, well, let's do it. But I want to go walk down there and I want to pick out the shirts. I want them to be, maybe V-necks, women's styles, men's style. I'm assuming, thanks Debbie, happy Mother's Day. I'm assuming it's going to be mostly women buying the shirts, some men. But I want to personally touch and feel, make sure they're soft ones so that they're good shirts. And we haven't done it. We've been so busy this week. So next week that's one of our priorities, one of our many priorities, is to go down because I want to get, by next Saturday, I want to have the shirts. At least to know exactly what's happening or when we're going to have them. So that's, okay, so Kim, you say, what would Mr. Rogers do? That's not what this one is, but that's been one of my favorites. What would Mom do? Right? What would Mom do? And I am not just saying this when I say I have a little plaque that's got WWMD on it, and it's a little mom, and it's like going like this. And I think of that, I think when I have no answer for something, I do two things. I think, what would my mom do? And then I jump in the shower and I say to God, what should I do? So the two forces together, it's a win-win. I cannot lose, and that's how I come up with the right thing to do, in my opinion. That's literally what I do. That's not a joke. So that's what WWMD is. What would Mom do? And my mom always instilled a sense of self-confidence. When I think of my mom, who passed away in 96, self-respect. I remember the one phrase my mom would say is, when I would feel insignificant or less than, or when somebody would pull like their, that when they try to make you feel, when somebody old, usually when you're a kid, because I was a kid at that time, and they make you feel like they belittle you, right? And it's an adult, a lot of times two kids, and they have this power thing, and you feel like you don't have a voice or you're not as important. And I remember my mom saying this to a particular person that I felt this way too. She's like, he puts his pants on one leg at a time just like you do. Do not ever let him intimidate you. You are no less important than him. And so that has always, he puts his pants on one leg at a time like you do, has always stuck with me. And I've thought about that 100,000 million times growing up and into my adulthood and even to this day, because while it's easy for me to talk to people when I'm here and I see all 35 or whatever amount of people are on, friends of mine, because I know all these people pretty much, it's easier. But a lot of times I'm speaking in front of people or talking with people that I don't know, and I feel nervous or less than. I think of that very phrase. So So WWMD, what would mom do? And that's the phrase that I always think of. When I think of my mom, I think of laughter and joy and silliness and love. And that's what I think of. And one time, a long, long time ago, I got this sent to me, and I've made a copy, and I always have it up in the store here, and I have it in the mom section. And it's just, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I'm going to read this to you, and then I may or may not let you go on with your night.
We may hold you captive.
I may keep talking, I don't know. But this was sent to me by somebody, and I've seen a little bit different versions of it, and I didn't entirely understand it until my two daughters have grown from little babies up until adults that they are now. I didn't fully understand that, and I really wish my mom was here to this day where I could acknowledge this poem in her perspective, because I understand her perspective more now than I did when she passed away, because I was only in my 20s and I hadn't had kids at that point yet, so I didn't go through this mother phase yet, So I'm going to read this to you. Hi, Mark is watching. Okay, when God created mothers. When the good Lord was creating mothers, he was into his 6th day of overtime when the angel appeared and said, "You're doing a lot of fiddling around on this one." And the Lord said, "Have you read the spec on this one? She has to be completely washable, but no plastic. Have 180 movable parts, all replaceable. Run on black coffee and leftovers. Have a laugh that disappears when she stands up. A kiss that can cure anything from a broken leg to a disappointed love affair. And 6 pairs of hands." The angel shook her head slowly and said, 6 pairs of hands? No way. "It's not the hands that are causing me the problems," said the Lord. "It's the 3 pairs of eyes that mothers have to have." "That's on the standard model," asked the angel. Oh, excuse me, I didn't read that right. "That's on the standard model?" asked the angel. The Lord nodded. 1 pair of eyes to see through closed doors when she asks, "What are you kids doing in there?" when she already knows. Another here in the back of her head that sees what she shouldn't, but what she has to know. And of course the ones in front that can look at a child when he goofs up and says, "I understand and I love you," without so much as uttering a word. "Lord," said the angel, touching his sleeve gently, "come to bed tomorrow." "I can't," said the Lord. "I am so close to creating something so close to myself. I have one who heals herself when she's sick, can feed a family of 6 on 1 pound of hamburger, and can get a 9-year-old to stand under a shower." The angel circled the model of a mother very slowly. "It's too soft," she sighed. "But tough," said the Lord excitedly. "You cannot imagine what this mother can do or endure." "Can it think?" "Not only think, but it can reason and compromise," said the Creator. Finally, the angel bent over and ran her finger across the cheek. "There's a leak," she pronounced. "I told you you were trying to put too much into this model." "It's not a leak," said the Lord. "It's a tear." "What's it for?" It's for joy, sadness, disappointment, pain, loneliness, and pride." "You are a genius," said the angel. The Lord looked somber. "I didn't put it there." That was by Irma Bombeck, who knows how many years ago. I really almost don't have a time that I don't read this poem, that I don't get welled up, because I never understood that last line when it says it's for joy, sadness, disappointment, pain, loneliness, and pride. How do you have tears for pride? I can understand more now, moms, my mom, and other moms can understand as well what all those things mean. And you can't really fully feel those feelings unless you go through all those phases. So I just absolutely love that poem, and I love you girls very much. Yeah, I do. And I really think that I really feel like that's all that I can possibly say for the evening. And I want to wish everybody a super wonderful Mother's Day. Thank you, Debbie Rooney. I love that one too. I just cannot. I think that's one of my favorite poems. Dad, she also used to say, your children are what love is all about. Yes, that's what she said. That's right. So thank you everybody for joining us. Again, we did have that one technical difficulty there in between. What is an evening here at Faith and Giggles without some issues? But you all hung out with me and I appreciate that. And I wish everybody a great weekend. And join us on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for the Faith and Giggles live store tour. Good night, everybody. Get your tea.
Yes.